So this is a clip of another favorite of ours, Tim Scott. So I
Oh,
don't
great.
did you see Tim Scott talking to I forget her first name, but Welker
I think I
on
know what
News
you're
and Classic?
talking about with the
Yeah.
election.
So I'll just play the clip here without without spoiling anything because it is really just it's not just great Tim Scott, it's just great everything.
Versus 4 years of Donald Trump. They're really excited to get back to the Trump years. And so I expect the election to be fair, and I expect Donald Trump to be our next president.
In terms of what he said, he specifically said, if it's not fair, as you're saying, you have to fight for the right of the country. And just this week, he said that he won Wisconsin falsely, Senator. So again, to the point, you voted to certify the election results of 2020. It's the exact opposite of what you said and did after 2020. Why would you want to be on a ticket with someone where there's such a fundamental difference?
There is clear facts here. President Trump himself said he expects this election to be fair, he expects it to be honest, and he expects to win. That's what the presidential candidate should expect, and I expect the exact same thing. And frankly, the American people agree with him. This is an issue that is not an issue, so I'm not going to make it an issue.
Well, Senator, will you commit to accepting the election results of 2024? Bottom line.
Well, at the end of the day, the United States will be President Donald Trump. And I'm excited to get back to low inflation, low unemployment.
Wait,
and
Senator, yes or no? Yes or no? Will you make the election results of 2024 no matter who wins?
That is my statement.
But is it just yes or no? Will you accept the 2024?
I look forward to President Trump being the 47th president. Multiple times,
Senator, just a yes or no answer.
So the American people will make the decision.
But I don't hear you committing
for President Trump. That's clear.
I don't hear you committing to the election results.
Here's the challenge.
Will you commit to accepting the election results?
This is why so many Americans believe that NBC is an extension of the Democratic Party. I said what I said, and I know that the American people, their voices will be heard, and I believe that President Trump will be our next president. It's that simple.
But senators, you know, the hallmark of our democracy is that both candidates agree to a peaceful transfer of power. So I'm asking
4 years of Joe Biden versus 4 years.
I like you're watching that and you're just like, there is no war on Passing Say. It is so hard. Like honestly, like as much as it's funny, it is one of the more dystopian clips I've seen.
It's so fucked up.
Like it's just like, will you commit to a peaceful transfer of power? Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States. That is my statement. Like if Tim Scott wasn't such a dunce, that would have come off a lot more scary.
You know what I mean? It's true. That's true. Yeah.
Like if you had like a fucking Dick Cheney say that, I'd be like,
oh my God,
I'm terrified. You know, but it's Tim Scott. So you're just like, oh, well, fucking Tim Scott.
Oh, it's old Tim. You rascal, you. It's all right. So she asked him like 6 times. So here's the thing. I would be embarrassed. To do something like that. To just blatantly ignore the question because look. There are unfair questions. People can like if someone asks you, "Hey, when did you stop beating your wife?" Okay, that question is set up for you to be wrong no matter what you say. Mm-hmm. Then you just say it. Just say, "No, that question is disingenuous, and here is why." And then you explain it. That's the strength answer. Like that's the answer people would respect, and it's true. But to just deflect from it, like the most cowardly way possible, just to appeal to Donald Trump. Like just appeal to Donald Trump. Like that is because the whole time I watch that, whenever I see, because this happens to a lot of politicians. And by the way, I did like the fact that he says, you know, that since you're asking if I'm going to accept the results, that's why so many people think NBC is like, wait a minute, what does that mean? Like,
are you telling me that the Democratic Party stands for peaceful transfer of power and the Republican Party does not? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly what he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying.
How else are you supposed to interpret those words?
Yeah, there's no other way. And the whole time I'm watching that, I'm thinking, look, why not just lie at this point? Just lie. Just say, yes, just say, yeah, you can always turn your back on it after the election. I wonder this all the time with politicians.
Because it'll piss
Hmm?
Trump off. Because it will piss Trump off.
That's
That's
the only
the
reason.
answer. Like, yeah, he should. That should. If again, this is why I say yes. The concerns of Donald Trump becoming a dictator are incredibly serious and incredibly real. However, I can't really like get too worked up about it because I know he's incompetent. Because like if he wanted to be, if he was competent and wanted to be a dictator, no, it's over. It is over in a blink of an eye. If an actual competent fascist was Donald Trump, it's over. It's over for the whole world. But he's not. He's an idiot. Like,
Yeah. It's actually kind of hard to find a competent fascist.
Well,
like,
yeah, because you kind of have to. It doesn't work that way. Like
yeah,
the things that lead you to becoming a fascist dictator also lead you to incompetence because you can't rule through fear and be like competent. Those two things don't work. Because competent people don't rule through fear. It doesn't work that way.
I think you could rule through fear, but you would be more. How do I phrase it? Because you could be like an authoritarian, but like a fascist is a little different because of like the mythos that's collected with it. Because you could just be, like a general or something and rule with an iron fist through fear, like a military junta or something like that. But like Hitler was a fascist, whatever, wildly incompetent, like wildly incompetent, which is it's insane he got as far as he did because like he was unstable, he was insane, he was like the stuff the Nazis were doing, man, like they could have won that war. Like they could have won that war if they weren't like trying to find if there were aliens in Antarctica, like if there was like a hole in the center of the earth and looking for ghosts and like pagan blood myths. Like they spent so much time on nonsense because that's what fascists do. Like they're not built for logic. And so yeah, Trump isn't built for logic and he'd have a hard time doing it. But it's just insane how he's whipped the whole Republican Party behind him. And I love watching, and we've been saying this for a while, that I don't think Trump has a great chance of winning. I got to say, though, I am surprised seeing how much support he's lost in Republican primaries. That actually does surprise me. Like yesterday was the primaries in Indiana, and Nikki Haley got 22% of the vote, or like 25% of the vote for Republicans. Like insanity.
She's not even running. Out.
Yeah, it's wild. So I thought for sure that I knew that most of the country rejected Trump, but I thought for sure he would hold on to 90% of the Republicans. No, he's actually lost a lot of them too, which is, I gotta say, kind of surprising. I don't know if this surprises you or not, but it definitely got me.
Have you ever watched they go viral every once in a while, a clip of a basketball game, like an NBA basketball game, or just like team shoots, misses, team shoots, misses, team shoots, misses. And it goes on for like 5 minutes. And you're just like, every time they miss, you're like, how is it possible that these professional athletes missed that many times in a row? And that's what it feels like watching Trump go against Biden. It's like, it's just terrible decision after terrible. It's like they're both intentionally trying to lose and can't do it. Because here's the other thing. I honestly don't think either of them want to be president. Like, if you fucking like put the Wonder Woman lasso of truth around them, I think Biden only wants to be is only running for president because he just feels like an obligation to do so. Like I think if you gave Biden a genie and it's like, what do you really want to do? It wouldn't be president of the United States in my 80s. Like I really don't think that's the case. Like Bernie Sanders, I think he also doesn't want to, but he feels he has to. And I think it's a very similar feeling that Biden has. But he's just wrong about that. Whereas Trump is only doing it. I honestly believe this. I think if he didn't feel like he had to in order to not go to jail, he wouldn't be running for president again. I think he would have been because I don't think he wanted to be president. I don't think he ever wanted to be president. I think he would have just been like, hey, this is my successor. I'm going to go to rallies and have fun and have the crowd chant my name. And he's going to be the guy that you all yell at, and that would be Trump's dream scenario. But he can't, because if he does that, he's going to jail.
So I halfway agree with you about Trump. I agree completely that he didn't actually want to be president.
Yeah. There's no
He-
fucking way.
No shot. He wanted to, do what a lot of people do, where they run for president, raise their profile. It gets you a lot more money and more recognition, and it'd be a fun time. He gets to go to all the rallies and wear the hats and have the chance, and then the real politicians will win. And he's like, holy shit, this hold on. Then he just kept winning. Now, I do think he would still run if he weren't in trouble for going to jail, because I think out of ego now, because like he's embarrassed he lost. Yeah, like like he doesn't like the fact that he lost, and like you ever do something for that, you're like, God, I really don't want to do this, but I got to save my pride here. I got to save some face. So I think he would still run. Like, I don't know if he actually wants to be president, but I think he would still run to win, just to try to build up his ego. And I agree with Biden too. Like, I think so. Biden wanted. It's funny because Biden has wanted to be president his whole life. He's run for president like 3 times. Like, he ran in the 80s, he ran in the 2000s, and he ran, just recently. But Obama picked Clinton over him, and that had to just burn. Like, if it were me, I would have been so pissed off, because he definitely would have beaten Trump in 2016. He definitely would have beaten him.
Decimated Trump.
Oh God.
He would have dollywopped Trump. It wouldn't have even been close.
Mm-mm.
It would have been less close than 2020 was. In 2020,
it would have. You're right. Yeah, I agree. And so he's like, okay, my boss didn't give me the letter of recommendation last time, and the country got Donald Trump as president. So now I have to. Like I said, now I kind of have to. And I think he kind of feels the same way now. And